We meet at a time when regional cooperation is gaining renewed importance across the world. Regions are becoming more connected, more economically independent, and more conscious of the need to address common challenges together. Yet South Asia, despite its immense human, cultural, economic, and strategic potential, remains far less integrated than it should be. This is the challenge before us. South Asia is geographically close, historically connected, and culturally rich, but politically fragmented and economically underintegrated. Our task is to consider how the gap between potential and performance can be reduced. The founding vision was clear that peoples of South Asia share common challenges and common aspirations, and therefore they need a common platform. That need remains valid today. In fact, it has become more urgent. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no denying that SAARC has faced serious difficulties. The summit process has remained stalled. Political trust has been weak. Regional integration has not reached its expected level. Bilateral tensions and unresolved disputes have repeatedly affected the organization's momentum. As a founding member and the birthplace of SAARC, Bangladesh has every reason to reflect on whether it has done enough to uphold the organization's founding ideals and help arrest its gradual stagnation. More importantly, this is a moment for collective introspection by all member states. Just imagine how far South Asia could have progressed had we truly embraced SAARC as our shared institution and matched its promise with sustained commitment and political will over the past 4 decades, especially over the last 17 years. Instead, those years have become a story of missed opportunities. SAARC remains politically constrained but institutionally relevant. Its charter remains in force. Its secretariat continues to function. Its specialized bodies and regional centers continue to operate. Its legal instruments, technical networks, and institutional memory remain available to us. Any serious effort to revitalize SAARC must begin with an honest diagnosis. SAARC has been affected by political mistrust, unresolved bilateral disputes, cross-border tensions, power asymmetry, and competing security perceptions. Long-standing India-Pakistan tensions have made consensus difficult and have often slowed regional initiatives. But SAARC's challenges are not only political, they are also institutional. The organization needs stronger implementation capacity, greater financial strength, more effective specialized mechanisms, and a practical culture of follow-up. Revitalization, therefore, requires both political goodwill and institutional repair. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme of today's seminar rightly places trust at the center of the discussion. Trust is the foundation of regional integration. Without trust, connectivity becomes difficult, trade remains limited, and even technical cooperation becomes vulnerable to political tension. But trust does not always begin with grand declarations. It can also be built gradually through practical cooperation. Health experts sharing disease surveillance information, trade officials simplifying customs procedures, climate specialists working together on flood early warning, disaster management professionals preparing jointly for emergencies, and students, entrepreneurs, researchers, and cultural practitioners interacting across borders can all help create habits of cooperation. Such initiatives may appear modest, but they can reduce suspicion, create confidence, and gradually rebuild the foundation for wider regional engagement. One of the clearest indications of South Asia's underperformance is trade. The South Asian Free Trade Area, as SAFTA, continues to exist legally and administratively. However, it has not produced the dynamic regional market that South Asia needs. Sensitive lists, non-tariff barriers, para-tariff weak logistics, customs delays, poor standards, harmonization, and political tensions have all limited its effectiveness. A wiser approach is to revitalize SAARC from below through technical cooperation, institutional repair, practical projects, functional connectivity, and people-centered initiatives. As an initial step in the revitalization process, Bangladesh would like to see SAARC operate at an optimal functional level until the regional environment becomes fully conducive for full political and summit-level revival. This phrase, optimal functional level, is important. It does not mean keeping SAARC alive only symbolically. It does not mean doing the bare minimum. It means doing the maximum that is realistically possible under current circumstances. It means being ambitious in spirit but realistic in method. An optimal functional SAARC would include regular technical and official meetings, a predictable calendar of activities, stronger specialized bodies, and regional centers' cooperation in non-continuous areas, and visible outcomes for the peoples of South Asia. It should also follow flexible project-based cooperation among willing members. All member states may not be ready to join every initiative at the same time, but where several members are ready to cooperate, they should be able to move forward while keeping the door open for others. The flexibility is necessary for SAARC's continued relevance. At this note, I would like to iterate one thing, that after we started, the new government in almost 4 months ago, I have spoken to all the member states separately, one-on-one, and all of them were very positive about revival of SAARC. So now I think it's about time that we put our wishes and our intent. The intent has to be actionable. So that is the time I think we should be working towards. The SAARC Development Fund has the potential to finance visible regional projects, but its leadership, governance, and operational capacity must be strengthened. A more effective SDF could support meaningful initiatives in health, agriculture, women-led enterprises, climate adaptation, rural development, and social development. Ladies and gentlemen, SAARC must also remain free from bilateral disputes. The SAARC Charter already provides that bilateral and contentious issues should not be brought into SAARC deliberations. This principle must be reaffirmed. The objective should not be force any two countries into political dialogue through SAARC. The objective should be to ensure that bilateral tensions do not paralyze every form of regional cooperation. At the same time, SAARC must remain an inclusive South Asian platform. Its value lies in bringing the region together within a cooperative framework. Therefore, we should keep the door open for all members while ensuring that agreed technical and developmental cooperation continues. Excellencies, another important question is the relationship between SAARC and other regional or sub-regional platforms, particularly BIMSTEC. Bangladesh does not need to choose between SAARC and BIMSTEC. BIMSTEC connects South Asia with the Bay of Bengal and Southeast Asia. SAARC represents the broader South Asian regional identity, including countries that are not part of BIMSTEC. These platforms should complement each other, not compete with each other. Sub-regional initiatives should not drain momentum away from SAARC. Rather, they should become building blocks for wider regional cooperation. Under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Tariq Rahman, a confident Bangladesh can support both SAARC and BIMSTEC because both serve our national interest in connectivity, stability, prosperity, and development. And our foreign policy tagline that we are all abiding by is Bangladesh first. Ladies and gentlemen, SAARC provides a platform where smaller states can speak collectively, where India can demonstrate constructive regional leadership, where Pakistan remains connected to a wider South Asian framework, and where shared problems can be addressed even when political disputes remain unresolved. For Bangladesh, this is also where history and future meet. SAARC carries a special historical meaning for us. It is a diplomatic legacy of late President Ziaur Rahman, whose vision helped place South Asian regional cooperation on the formal agenda. But that legacy is not only a matter of the past, it also speaks directly to Bangladesh's future. Bangladesh First is more than a slogan. In our foreign policy, it includes building a neighborhood that supports Bangladesh's security, trade, climate resilience, food security, connectivity, and global standing. In that sense, SAARC began as a Bangladeshi diplomatic vision, and today it can become an important instrument for Bangladesh's future.